So Abu Ben Adhem is a very, very simple poem where the poet Leigh Hunt gives us a very unique idea about how to love God, or what can you do to love God or win God's blessings. Okay, the poet says that God can be loved, or you can show your love towards God by simply loving his creations, by simply loving your fellow men. If you are able to help your fellow men, if you are able to love them, then God will automatically bless you. You need not please to, you need not go to please God by visiting temples and churches, but simply अगर आप एक दूसरे को प्यार करते हैं, अपने भाई बहनों को सपोर्ट करते हैं, हेल्प करते हैं, लव करते हैं, then God will definitely bless you. You can get God's love by that. So here Abu Ben Adhem is of the type who believes in service to humanity is service to God. He believes in love thy neighbor. He believes in doing good for people. He believes in helping people. He believes in wishing no harm for them. So Abu Ben Adhem is a godly person, a divine person who has spent his entire life doing good for others, performing noble deeds. Okay. The poem describes us how he once upon a time had a supernatural experience wherein he saw an angel right in front of him writing something. Let us proceed to what he sees, what he talks, and all that. Okay. Yes, Abu Ben Adhem is the name of this saintly person, is the name of this holy person. Page 34, Abu Ben Adhem. Leigh Hunt was an English poet, writer, and essayist. A firm liberal, Hunt claims through this poem that true worship is manifest through acts of love and service that one shows one's fellow men and women. I want you to mark this line, underline this line. Hunt claims through this poem that true worship. How will you truly worship God? By manifesting through acts of love and service that one should show one's own fellow men and women. Okay. Set in a Middle Eastern country, we have a glimpse of the life of a godly man who is visited by a divine messenger. Probably we are talking of those times when Bhagwan साक्षात दर्शन देते थे. उनके दूत, उनके messengers हमें साक्षात दर्शन देते थे. The Satyu. Okay, when God used to come in front of his devotees, who was a very honest devotee, उसको भगवान दर्शन देते थे. At first, Ben Adhem is disappointed to learn that his name is not among those who love God. The angel was writing the names of all the people who love God in a golden book. जब Abu Ben Adhem ने पूछा, is my name there? He was disappointed because angel ने कहा, no, your name is not there in the list of people who love God. He then asks his angelic visitor to at least include his name among those who loved other people. उसने कहा, ठीक है, fair enough. If my name is not there in the list of people who love God, at least write my name in the list of people who love their fellow men, who love other people. The next night, the visitor returns. Visitor is the angel. He returns and shows Ben Adhem the names of all people who had been blessed by God. He shows to him a book in which he had written the names of all people whom God had blessed, जिसको God ने bless किया था. Ben Adhem is delighted to see his name heading the list. So he was delighted that उस list में उसका नाम पहला था. That is, he was the first person to receive God's blessings. And isn't it easy for us to understand why he was the first? Because he loved his fellow men. So भगवान भी खुश हैं कि आप मेरे बच्चों को प्यार करो, मुझे मिल जाएगा. Okay, try to be considerate with my creation and I am happy. Abu Ben Adhem, may his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace. Since this poem is very simple, They may try to ask you a variety of questions. As and when I am explaining to you, मैं तुम लोग को questions भी बोलती जा रही हूँ. Please kindly write them in the textbook itself. Abu ben Adhem, may his tribe increase. The poet talks about Abu ben Adhem, who is a godly man, and may his tribe increase is in brackets. He is wishing, it is a wish, that the world needs more people like him. So let people like him or his tribe increase. We need more people like him. Let his tribe increase. Awoke one night. Abu ben Adhem awoke one night when he was in a deep dream of peace. He was sleeping very peacefully. He was experiencing a deep dream of peace. Why was he sleeping so peacefully? कौन से आदमी को इतनी अच्छी sleep मिलती है, peaceful sleep मिलती है? Someone who is not afraid of doing something wrong, or someone who is not disturbed by such thoughts or guilty thoughts. He has a very clean conscience. He has never hurt other people, and so he experiences a deep dream of peace. When you're dreaming deeply, it means you are also experiencing a deep sleep and peaceful. इसे सिर्फ तुम्हें बिल्डअप करना है, ओके? यू जस्ट हैव टू बिल्ड अप व्हाई ही वाज एक्सपीरियंसिंग अ पीसफुल स्लीप. And saw within the moonlight in his room, making it rich, like a lily in bloom, an angel writing in a book of gold. He awoke, and what did he see? He saw that his room was very bright because of the moonlight entering from the window, and like a lily in bloom, an angel was sitting in his room writing something in a book of gold. This simile is used for the angel. The angel is compared to a lily in bloom. The presence of the angel is so divine, it is so pristine, like a white lily which is fully in bloom. And he was writing something in a book of gold. This is what Abu ben Adhem saw. They may ask you, what did Abu ben Adhem saw or see when he awoke? So he saw an angel writing something in a book of gold. The room was illuminated by moonlight and the angel was looking like a lily in bloom. ये पूरा आना चाहिए. Because 3 marks है. You can't just write that Abu ben Adhem saw an angel. Okay? Exceeding peace had made Ben Adhem bold. He was experiencing extreme peace within himself, and it made him bold. What is the significance of this line here? Remember, he was confronting a divine messenger. He was confronting almost God because that angel was God's messenger. Had he done anything wrong, he would not be able to face the angel. क्योंकि वो सिन या वो पाप जो उसने किया होता वो उसे एकदम उसको सामने सामने नजर से नजर मिलाकर देखने को अलाउ नहीं करता. But Abu ben Adhem was bold. What gave him that boldness? His clean conscience. His life where he had only done good deeds for others. He had never hurt anyone, nor he had wished harm for anyone. And this righteousness or this virtuous self in him gave him the boldness to confront this angelic presence. He had become bold. अगर तुम कुछ गलत करोगे तो कैसे तुम भगवान के सामने नजर मिला के खड़े रह पाओगे? No. And if you have not done anything wrong, how boldly you will stand in front of God? His clean conscience. When your conscience is clean, it gives you a level of boldness. You know, एक अलग ही level of boldness आती है तुम्हारे अंदर. लेकिन अगर तुमने कुछ गलत किया है तो you will not be so bold, right? Very natural है. And to the presence in the room, he said, "What writest thou?" And he saw that the angel was writing in the book. And very boldly, he had the courage to ask the angel, "What writest thou? What are you writing?" The vision raised its head. Vision यानी angel. The angel का definitely head नीचे था क्योंकि वो कुछ लिख रहा था. He raised his head and with a look made of all sweet accord, with a very, very sweet look, with a very, very divine look, answered, "The names of those who love the Lord." I am writing names of those who love the Lord, who love God. And is mine one? Said Abu. And immediately Abu ne bola, "Is mine one? Is my name there in the list?" "Nay, not so," replied the angel. The angel said, "No, your name is not there." Abu spoke more low. Definitely, Abu Ben Adhem was a little bit dissatisfied. He was a little bit disappointed. Yes, Yashvi?
Miss, can you repeat the meaning of accord?
Sweet accord means a sweet face with a very divine face.
Yes, ma'am.
Abu spoke more low. He was a little bit disappointed, dejected, but cheerly still. But immediately he regained his cheerfulness and became a bit cheerful and said, "I pray thee then, write me as one that loves his fellow men. Then I request you, I pray thee, I request you, write me or write my name as one who loves his fellow men." He did not sulk, he did not complain कि मेरा नाम क्यों नहीं है, मैं तो इतना कुछ करता हूँ अपने fellow men के लिए. Then why is my name not there in the person who loves God? Instead, he just said, "Okay, it's fine." He was positive and he said, "Okay, at least write my name in the list of people who love their fellow men." The angel wrote and vanished. The angel wrote and vanished. He disappeared. The next night it came again. The next night it came again into Abu's room with a great awakening light. Again he came in with a very great awakening light. You know those types of light with which the angels are associated. Angels के आसपास एक brightness होती है, एक aura of light होती है. So it again came with the same awakening light and showed the names whom the love of God had blessed. And he showed the names to Abu Ben Adhem of the list of people whom God's love had blessed, whom God had blessed, showered with love. And lo, and see what happened. What a surprise. Ben Adhem's name led all the rest. Led all the rest, he was on top of that list. He was leading in that list of people whom God's love had blessed. Okay, is the poem clear? It was a very, very simple poem with a very, very simple message that if you want God's love, if you want God's blessings, try to love his fellow men, try to do good for your fellow men. Okay, try to harbor love for each other and not hatred or enmity. If you can, please get the workbook. Do you have the workbook with you? I'll give you just a minute. Please get your workbook. I'll just discuss what other things you need to study from the workbook regarding Abu Ben Adhem. Please get your workbook of poems. All of you ready with your textbook? Workbook. Okay. So apart from the annotations from the workbook, what all you have to study? Open to page 133. Page 133 of your workbook. I'm just making you mark all the important lines which you can use severally in your answers. अलग-अलग तरीके से तुम लोग answers में use कर सकते हो. The first line, the poem celebrates the humanitarian principle of loving fellow men rather than indulging in mere abstract love of God. The poem raises an important question: how we can love God whom we do not see if we don't love our fellow men whom we see?
Miss,
Yes.
it is different in my book.
Acha, but just mark that. I mean, mark that first introductory paragraph. Okay.
Miss, can you repeat it?
ये था ना, celebrates the humanitarian principle of loving fellow men rather than indulging in mere abstract love of God. ये लाइन तो है ना?
Oh, miss.
Do you have Pinto's workbook?
Yes, Miss Xavier.
Yes, miss. Miss on page 33, right?
133 page.
Yes, miss. That only.
It is different in our book.
Miss, what you are reading is not there.
Okay, so what
Miss,
is
the
there in
poem
your
depicts
book?
the fact. Miss, the poem depicts the fact that when you love your fellow man, you become worthy
I
to
can't
be
hear
loved
you,
by
Ishita.
God.
Ishita, wait, I can't hear you. Krishna, please speak.
Only 4 lines are given and the poet's description is given then.
What is the line? First line क्या है? मतलब first 4 lines क्या है?
Le Hans Abu Ben Adhem is a poem published in 1838. The poem depicts the fact that when you love your fellow man, you become worthy to be loved by God. The poem raises an important question: how we can love
Okay,
God
just
whom we
underline
do
these
not
words.
see.
Fine, just underline these words. Next, turn your page. You have signposts. Read the signposts. The poem in detail. The poem in detail, lines 1 to 6. Read them. 7 to 10. Also read. 11 to 14. Also read. 15 to 18. Just go through. Read. Then I think you have the meanings. I want you to mark and learn all the meanings. May his tribe increase. Deep dream of peace. Bold presence, vision. Low, wakening light, and vanished. They can ask you anything. What is the significance of low? What is the significance of vanishing? Okay. Then we come to theme. The theme is true devotion to God. The poem depicts that true devotion to God is found in love for one's neighbor. It is only when you love your fellow man you become worthy to be loved by God. I hope what I am reading is there in your book because I have an older version.
Yes, miss, it's there.
The poem is a celebration of humanistic ideals. Abou Ben Adhem, a simple soul, on realizing that his name is not in the list of people who love God, says to the angel that he loves his fellow men. The twist takes place the next night when angel returns with another list having names. The poem thus brings out, last line, brings out the message that love for one's fellow men matters greatly. Those who love their fellow men love God. Form and structure. The next important component or answer that you need to study. What is the form and structure of this poem? You just had to mark the theme, entire theme.
That is to learn or
You have to learn, yes, whatever I said right now.
yes.
उसको underline करना था. Form and structure, the poem is a parable A parable is a short story used to illustrate moral or spiritual lessons as told by Jesus in Gospels. The poem gives us a message that God loves those who love their fellow men. Okay, that is why it is a parable. The form of the poem is a parable. Rhyming scheme. They may ask you what is the significance of the rhyme scheme used in the poem. It is used to heighten the effect. See the first line. The poem has used rhyming scheme to heighten its effect. It is written in couplet form. The poem is written in couplet form. Go to the next. A couplet is a literary device which can be defined as having two successful rhyming lines in a verse. The poem, then look at the last line. The poem Abou Ben Adhem consists of many set of open couplets. And what is open couplets? Uske previous line mein jao. A couplet which cannot render a proper meaning alone is called an open couplet. And this poem is an example of open, or it has used open couplets, which is a form of literary device. Next, look at the next page, point 4, climax. What is a climax, or what are examples of climax in the poem? The last 4 lines of the poem can be seen as a climax. The angel writes Abou loves his fellow men and vanishes. To everybody's surprise, the angel appears again the next night and with a new set of names of people who have been blessed by God. The word lo adds to the climax. Climax is something which you are not predicted or which is a twist. तो यहाँ पे ये twist है कि अबू बिन अदम ने तो कहा कि मेरा नाम उस लिस्ट में लिखो who loves his fellow man, and the twist is he appears in the list of people whom God's love has blessed. Then next line जो मतलब next paragraph जो है about real Abu Ben Adhem, this is a little bit controversial. So read करना but don't rely much because ये जो real Abu Ben Adhem का concept है that is different in the other version of the workbook. जो दूसरी वर्कबुक अवेलेबल है दूसरे पब्लिकेशन की उसमें ये और वो थोड़ा सा कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग है. सो यू कैन जस्ट रीड इन केस इस पर कुछ क्वेश्चन आया तो. ओके, सो हियर इट सीम्स कि एक रियल में अबू बिन अदम करके कोई था जिसके बेस पे दे हैव इंस्पायर्ड फ्रॉम दैट कैरेक्टर एंड रिटन दिस पोएम, बट दिस इज अ बिट कंट्रोवर्शियल. Moral of the poem. What is the moral of the poem? You can mark that entire paragraph. Moral of the poem, you can mark the entire paragraph. Last but not the least, how is this poem connected to supernatural elements, or this poem has some supernatural elements justify? अगर ऐसा आंसर आया, then I am giving you exactly kya. Please mark those lines. The term supernatural refers to something above reason which cannot be explained by science or laws of nature. It can be seen as relating to God, spirit, guardian angels, and other supernatural beings. The poem also has this airy quality in it. The use of certain phrases like deep dream of peace, book of gold, presence in the room, the vision, great awakening light. All this adds to the supernatural quality of the poem. Next, after waking up in the middle of the night, the moonlight brightening the room, the angel writing in a golden book, the vision with a face full of kindness, and the angel coming again with a great awakening light is magical and unbelievable. Okay? यहाँ तक हुआ. अगर 3 मार्क्स के लिए आता है तो सुपरनैचुरल क्या है उसको थोड़ा कम एक्सप्लेन करो एंड पोयम में कौन से एग्जाम्पल्स हैं, कौन से इवेंट्स है विच आर टेलिंग यू दैट इट इज सुपरनैचुरल, वो इंक्लूड करो. अगर 4 मार्क्स के लिए आया तो वॉट एवर आई हैव टोल्ड यू ये सब इंक्लूड करो. समझ में आ रहा है एग्जैक्टली व्हाट यू विल इंक्लूड फॉर सुपरनैचुरल? yes or no? yes. इसके बाद का जो है, there is also a certain level of ambiguity in the poem. again वो भी मार्क करो. I will say for example अगर आया that there is a certain level of ambiguity in the poem abou ben adhem, justify. Then you will write this. There is also a certain level of ambiguity in the poem. As a reader, it is difficult to decipher whether Abu actually encountered the angel or the entire episode was a dream. Thus, the episode is seen beyond earthly life and can be seen as belonging to the realm of the supernatural. अच्छा, okay. I have got that in my older book. मतलब मेरे पास older book है. Just write ambiguity का aspect. Ambiguity means an element of unknown. So यहाँ पे this supernatural element adds to the level of ambiguity. Okay, fine. I'll just send it right away.
It is there under supernatural. My book.
I have sent that on the group. Okay.